Hello my amazing artists. I'm here to show you today how to create a pinch pot flower using some earth clay, and you're going to be using a lot of materials. You can see some of them here. I have some toothbrushes, I have some clay tools. They're a little bit messy but they still work well. I also have some skewers and some toothpicks. I also have a little cup of water. I'm going to use that for my glue for my clay. And the last thing I have are scissors. These scissors are just old and used a lot, and they work well for cutting some clay. So you're going to be making your pinch pot using the clay today, and a pinch pot is anything that looks kind of like the inside of a cupcake pan. And we make it by pinching our fingers together like this. So with your left hand it would look like this. With your right hand it would look like this. So we're going to start by rolling part of our clay into a ball. And I kept a little bit of clay over here because I might need a little bit more. I'm going to make this ball a little smaller. And you'll get a certain amount of clay, so you won't have to worry about deciding how much to use. So you're just going to roll this in your hands until it creates a ball. Next, you're going to take your thumb and you're going to push your thumb into the clay, pushing almost all the way through, but we're not making a donut, we're making a little pot, like a little container. So I pushed my thumb into the clay, but I did not push it all the way through. So that's the top, this is the bottom. Then I'm going to take my pinching hand, I call it a crabby claw, I'm going to take my crabby claw and I'm going to pinch around the sides, just making it a little bit thinner and making my pot a little bit bigger. So as I go around, I'm pinching the clay, making it a little larger. Now, I don't want the clay to be too thin on the sides, and I don't want the clay on the bottom to be too thin because when it dries it will break, and you don't want to break your clay. So this is going to be the whole bottom part of the flower. I'm going to place it on my paper plate here, and I'm just going to push down in the middle a little bit just to make the bottom flat. Okay? And then I'm going to make the middle part where the seeds go. So I'm going to need a little pinch of clay. I'm going to roll it into a circle again, into a sphere, like a ball. And then I'm going to connect this clay into this clay. Now, clay can't just be pushed together like Play-Doh or modeling clay. It needs to have some glue. So we're going to use what's called slip. So we're going to slip the clay together because the water is slippery. I always remember slip. We're going to use a toothbrush for this. So I'm going to dip my toothbrush in the water, just a little bit. It might be a little dirty because other students have used it. And then I'm going to brush in there to make it a little bit texturized inside the clay. So you can see that the clay changed a little bit, it got a little shiny, and it is now a little bumpy. I'm also going to scratch on the bottom of my sphere here. So it's making a couple of little marks and making sure that they attach. Now I'm going to put that in the middle, but I can't just leave it there because it's not just going to magically stick together like glue does. I have to actually push it down to make sure that it sticks. And if I have too much water, it might slip around, but you can carefully do that. All right. Now I'm going to add some texture, and to create the texture I can use a couple of things. One, I can use the skewer to make some dots in the middle for the seeds of the flower. And I can also use the skewer to draw some lines to show the petals. Now, if I want to, I can actually cut on these lines to make it open up and look more like a flower. So it's not necessarily going to stay like this. You might want to cut it with the scissors and make those petals come out. So you just put your scissors like this, cut the clay just like you cut paper, and it will make your flower open up a little bit. And then you can kind of open these up. You can also pinch the top parts to make them a little bit rounder if you wanted to. And you can smooth it out with your thumbs to make them a little smoother. Notice I'm not putting any water on it. I'm just using my fingers as my tools. So you can decide how you want your flower to look. After your flower is all finished, you're going to bring it to the clay cart by the closet. Make sure you carry it with 2 hands because you don't want to drop it. There will be a paper there. You're going to find your name on the paper, and you're going to just place your flower on the paper where your name is. This will help Miss Pelavon organize the clay, and that way she can write your name on it, or I can write your name on it. I guess I should say it like I'm here. Okay, so our flower is all done. I'm going to take it to the clay cart and put it on my name so that that Miss Pelavon knows which one is mine. And then after it dries out and gets hard, and then it's going to get fired in the kiln, you will get it back and you will get to paint it and take it home. Have fun!